for the AFC Championship, and the road to a Super Bowl goes through Pittsburgh. It's the Chiefs and the Steelers, and it comes your way next on Madden Football.
This one for the right to represent the AFC in Super Bowl 56 in L.A. Off we go. And we will not get a run back here to start. It's a touchback, and it will come out to the 25. On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete. 2nd and 10, a very chilly day here, but no snow. And I got to say, if it's going to be this cold, I want snow. You should see Charles' face. He's looking at me like I'm crazy. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8. Mahomes going to throw. Going to let one fly for Robertson. And he fires one that's intercepted. Joe Hayden, the veteran, with a pick. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. And they'll run for the first time with Najee Harris. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It'll be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
Our game not even 2 minutes old, but a quick red zone opportunity. It's 1st and 10 from the 12. On the give, this is Harris. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
On 2nd down, it's Harris, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. Najee Harris taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Steelers are on the board first here in this AFC Championship game. Extra point put through by Boswell, and it's now a 7-0 game. A drive there of just 4 plays. And it was Najee Harris who finished it off with a touchdown run. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. Patrick Mahomes on his way out for their next drive. And he'll look to rebound from the early interception that led to 6 points the other way.
And when he threw the interception and he had to come to the sideline, I guarantee his first thought wasn't about the interception itself, but what could result. And I know he was thinking to himself, come on, defense, bail me out. Well, they weren't able to in this situation. Now he's got to go out and atone for it himself, but he can't force things.
Mahomes now on 1st down. And this one caught by Travis Kelce. And he'll be stopped right at midfield.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere. And they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well. And that's what they just did on that play.
And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. To throw, it's Mahomes. To the right side, it's Kelce. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. Throwing is Mahomes on 3rd. Gonna let one fly for Robinson. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. On 4th down, Tommy Townsend to punt for Kansas City. Greg Stroman back deep waiting for it. Oh, it's a wobbler here. And this will be up to the ruling of the side judge here. He says it crossed out of bounds at the 16-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They'll be looking to duplicate the efforts of drive number 1 that resulted in 7 points in the 7-zip lead.
Well, you know how much I enjoy horse racing, right? Looks like they caught a flyer out of the gate, as they would say when you're running the big-time races. It means they get out to a fast start. They're setting the pace, making the other team chase now.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. They'll drop to throw. And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. Frank Clark in there to bury him for a loss of 11. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
He's going to launch it for Washington. And unable to connect, incomplete. I give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. The Steelers send out their punter now. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. And from their own end, and he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line. I know, without even asking, without even looking in your direction, that you are not a fan of that call.
Oh, I wish you had looked, Brandon, because I was actually thinking this would be the perfect time for a fake.
Right.
Yeah, you're right. This doesn't make any sense to me at all. This deep in your own territory, look, I'm all for being unconventional. That part's cool, and I get it. But this deep, I just don't think it was the right time to make that call.
Not much there, only a yard. The Chiefs with the football as we start the 2nd quarter. After 7-0 on EA Sports. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Excellent work there to get in on the touchdown run. And the Chiefs are an extra point away from tying up this football game. Extra point by Butker is on target, and we are tied here in the 2nd quarter. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Pittsburgh offense making their way back out. Harris starts the drive on the ground, and he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. 8 yards to go on 2nd down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front, because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
53 yards on the ground in his first half with a Super Bowl berth on the line. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. On the delay, here's Harris. Powers through. Room to run again. They find some open field here. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. The CD, I mean, there are touchdown runs, and then there are touchdown runs, and that one certainly fell into the latter category, and that deserves a couple exclamation points.
And the thing that stood out to me was his ability to continue through the initial contact. How many times do we see runners get slowed up and not get what they can on a run because of that first contact? But he kept the compass pointing in the right direction, kept the legs churning, and turned this into a huge play.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. Callaway, the return man. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Out comes Patrick Mahomes in the Chiefs offense. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown 1 interception. He wants to bounce that off with at least 1 touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward. Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
Right back to Edwards-Helaire on first down. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
Not the kind of game that we'll go absolutely crazy for, but it's the kind of game that you need to have when you're running back in the NFL. And Clyde Edwards-Helaire, with that low center of gravity and strength, he's going to get those tough, gritty yards for you when necessary.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 2 first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Now Mahomes. They'll set up the screen to Edwards-Helaire. And he is going to lose yardage here. Not what they had in mind there. That's going to go as a loss of 4.
Well, so much for bluffing the defensive line into thinking that they were going to be able to get to the quarterback. Instead, they sniffed out the screen pass and made a really nice play for lost yardage.
And that nearly intercepted. It's incomplete. Now, remember, he had a pick earlier, but couldn't reel that one in.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
Caught out left side by Robinson. And they'll get this across midfield, but not nearly close to a first down as he stopped at the 48. And the punter's on the sideline. Here's the field goal unit now to try an exceptionally long one. 64 was Matt Prater's record. This would top that by a yard. And this one will not get there. It's off to the left anyway. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
And this is one of the risks you run when you attempt a long field goal. If you miss, the defense takes over the spot of the placement. So now they've got a chance to get one more drive in before halftime.
And now he'll turn, and off his back foot, he'll heave this deep. And that nearly intercepted. Well, the free safety roaming into position almost had it, but it's 2nd down.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest. With a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep, try and throw some air under it, and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they run successful.
This throw incomplete, nearly picked off. And with his pedigree, he doesn't drop many of those. But 3rd down coming up.
Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure or do they play coverage on this down?
On 3rd down, it's Harris. He's got the first down here inside the 30. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Najee Harris sending his best for the playoffs with his 3rd touchdown of the game. And the Steelers are going to add on to their lead. Boswell good with the extra point. And it's now 21-7. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And it was Najee Harris who finished it off with a touchdown run. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. Count away the return man. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. Now, they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the miss. Mahomes hit. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And they're going to take possession of the football inside the 15 at the 14-yard line. And in this very cold night air, how much harder, Charles, is it to hang on to that football?
It's a lot harder, and I know for the most part we think about a ball being slick when there's rain or snow, any type of moisture. But when it's cold and dry like this,
it's cold.
And it is cold, it's also slick that way because you're not able to really grip it the same way. Your hands are cold, and then the hits seem harder. So, yeah, it's a lot more difficult to hold on to the football, which means you have to emphasize it that much more.
Wind chills right now, 12 degrees. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. They'll set up to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for third down.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. The Chiefs will use the first of their timeouts. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. Now Chris Boswell for the Steelers field goal try. This just a 24-yard attempt. Boswell's kick is good. And they will open things up a bit more. It's 24-7. So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board. Ended up settling for 3.
Callaway, the return man. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And they've got less than 30 seconds to go here, so not a lot of time to work with. And that is incomplete. Well, the coverage a little too good there, and it's second down. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Working from the gun, Mahomes. He'll swing this one out to Edwards-Helaire. Now another timeout called for by the offense, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. So 3rd and 5, defensively expecting pass. They've got 6 DBs out there. Here's Mahomes to throw. Finding Edwards-Helaire once again. It'll be a loss of 2, maybe 3 on the play, and it'll be 4th down.
I believe I could see what they were trying to do there, but unfortunately, the back ran out of room. Too close to the sideline. And for defenders, we're often taught, 11 on the field, those sidelines can become the 12th defender. It worked to the defense's advantage on that play.
On is the punter Townsend as he gets this one away. This is taken at the 18. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And how about this? He takes it all the way back. No time, no flags. A punt return touchdown and a stunning end of the first half.
And they kicked it to him. They kicked it to him.
Extra point put through by Boswell. And that will take us to the end of the first half of play. So we come upon halftime in the AFC title game. As we'll head down to Orlando. That's right. Yeah, who has time for a halftime show with a trip to the Super Bowl on the line? Let's get back to it. All right, Coach, thanks very much. Fine work as always as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. One more half to decide who takes home the Lamar Hunt Trophy as we're back underway in this AFC Championship. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And the Steeler offense ready to get going here in this third quarter. And they have made this look easy. Now, there's not supposed to be anything easy about the NFL playoffs, but this lead, yes, they're at home, but this has been impressive.
And we hear all the time when upsets happen, teams go on the road, that maybe home field advantage isn't all it's cracked up to be. But you and I both know the reality is teams really fight hard to get it.
There he goes, left side. Trotty. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Najee Harris, 75 yards. And the Steelers continue to show why it pays to play at home in the postseason as they add on to their lead. Boswell good with the extra point, and the lead will swell by one more. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. Callaway, the return man. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. So here's the Chiefs offense ready for their first reps in half number 2. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. On 2nd and 11 now. Mahomes. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively. And now it brings up 3rd down. But the passing windows are just not there, and that's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
Here's the Chiefs punter now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. Pulled in at the 24. It'll be a 44-yard punt. The return goes for 8. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense? And he sheds a tackle. Now he's got some space. Past the 20. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Najee Harris, 68 yards. And the Steelers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point put through by Boswell. And that will extend this big lead. So they hit pay dirt on just one play. The long run, the scamper, and a very nice scamper into the end zone for the touchdown. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. Callaway, the return man. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. And now here comes Kansas City. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, "Wake up. Yeah. Let's get moving, guys."
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. They go play action. Now Mahomes. He'll find his running back, Edwards-Helaire. Call it a gain of a yard, and it'll be 3rd and 10 now.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
Yeah, this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down as that was not an easy one to hold on to. Here's the Chiefs punter now as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. That's taken on the 25. A terrific return. 30 yards all in all. And the Steeler offense, they're set up nicely as they take over. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. On the draw, it's Harris. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. He continues to have a big night here under the lights carrying the football.
And some guys prefer night games. For whatever reason, their bodies react a certain way. They love the spotlight. Maybe that's what it is. The best seats in the house, The ones where he's carrying the football for his offensive teammates, the worst seats, the 11 guys trying to tackle him on defense.
K.J. Wright, the one who shot in there to get him down.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
On second down now, it's Harris. Always got some breathing room. Pretty explosive run on that inside handoff, and when you're a runner of his caliber, you don't need a big crease.
You really don't, but also what we're seeing is an offensive line that's taking charge at the point of attack, aren't we? Not only are they controlling the initial contact, they're actually utilizing what they call the strain, the next 2 to 3 seconds to continue to move people.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. This is Harris on the draw, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. A loss on that play, and now 3rd down gets tougher, 3rd and 6.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty, but when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
On 3rd down, Harris. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Najee Harris, a 10-yard touchdown run. And the Steelers get another third-quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. Boswell good with the extra point, and the lead will swell by 1 more. So the drive there took 6 plays, and it was Najee Harris who finished it off with a touchdown run. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. Here's Powell on the return. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
Back now in Pittsburgh. 1 quarter remains for the right to go on to the Super Bowl. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. The throw over the middle, taken in. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
That's what I'm talking about.
Looking to throw is Mahomes. And this pass broken up. And the contact well timed there. And now 4th down. Here's the Chiefs punter now, as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. He gets this away as he'll wisely, I'd say, angle this to the sideline. And no return on this one as that kicks out of bounds, so they'll start just outside of their own 30-yard line. Najee Harris and the Steeler offense set to go to work once again. I guess it kind of goes without saying at this point, but he's had a great game, as we like to say, a nose for the end zone, no doubt.
Continues to find it throughout this game, and I'm sure he's got a nice place to live. He might want to make an offer on the end zone for a second home because that's what it's been like throughout this contest. He knows how to get there, and boy, he looks happy when he does.
He's already bought all the property in the end zone. That's the problem. He's going to sell to himself now. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They'll run again with Harris. He takes this from the 30 to the 34.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
It'll be a gain of 4, but it won't be enough. It leaves him with a 4th down now.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
The Steelers send out their punter now. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the 4th quarter. And they're going to try this again. It's another fake. Eluding the pressure right. And the fake will work. He's going to have a first down. And I don't know what the method is to know when to dial up a fake punt, when not to. Whatever the method there, it worked for him.
I think you actually did explain it. There is no method. It's just a feel, a sense, and a healthy dose of guts in order to call that play in that situation.
Element of surprise, I guess, right? Yeah,
element of surprise and just a strong belief in, hey, we're going to get it done.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They run again with Harris. And for one of the first times all night, he is going to go nowhere as they bury him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Going deep to the end zone for Juju. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
And this doesn't end well at all as they stop him far behind the line to gain. The Steelers try it, but they come up empty on 4th down. And the Chiefs' defense comes up with a stop. Mahomes now on 1st down. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down. To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Mahomes. Pressure comes, and the Steelers take him down. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. They face a 3rd down now as they try to find a late score. Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. The safety, Terrell Edmonds, picks it. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over. Now a 1st down carry for Harris. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
Going top shelf for Smith-Schuster, and he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Boswell for the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. And Kansas City's offense now set and ready to go. And their backs really against the wall now. They knew how tough this would be on the road, AFC title game, and they have gotten all they could handle and then some. And Mahomes misfires again, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Cameron Sutton. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over. They'll run on 1st down. Harris. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
And some space here. And he'll get this all the way down to the Chiefs' 8. A big play there. He had his eyes on the end zone once he hit the secondary, but they're finally able to slow him down.
Yeah, and I've got to look at this one from the defensive point of view. You just mentioned finally able to slow him down. They've got to...
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Well, they've been part of the cream of the crop in the AFC all season. It's becoming more and more evident that they're going to get a shot to play for that Super Bowl title.
The momentum has been building, and you mentioned how well they've played throughout the season. It's all come together for them, and they're really laser-focused on being that team to represent in the Super Bowl.
They have been dominant in this one. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left, because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it, because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now, and if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that and do it really well. Otherwise, there could be repercussions.
We'll see how they handle the waning moments of this one. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. Well, the Lombardi Trophy would be nice to hoist. They have to hold off for that for a little.